Welcome to my first Pokemon Draft League Wi-Fi battle in 3 years. My team, the LA Wakers, versus DDubble's team, the Edmonton Coilers. I'll be giving you guys a quick breakdown of the team that I'm bringing today, why I chose these Pokemon, and then the Wi-Fi battle will follow. But first, if you're excited about my first Pokemon Draft League battle in 3 years, let me know down below, and let's get right into it. My opponent's team has some crazy threats like Roaring Moon and Slitherwing, and then a great defensive backbone with Dondozo, Arcanine, and Mudsdale. He even has Mimikyu to take on my setup Pokemon and Magnezone to take on my Sylveon. But out of all 11 Pokemon that my opponent can pick from, he's missing two things, a Defogger and a grounded poison type to absorb toxic spikes. And his Rapid Spinner Komala is not very good versus my team. So I'm taking full advantage of this and bringing Meowscarada. With a jolly nature, it's faster than his entire team and can get up toxic spikes very easily. It supports me with knockoff, letting me get rid of heavy duty boots from some of his Pokemon like Arcanine, and also has Flower Trick to break through Cursed Dondozo. I'm going with the Focus Sash, that way I can guarantee get up toxic spikes, so if his Slitherwing goes for first impression, I'll live it. And last on my moveset I have Sucker Punch. This is to maybe check a Mimikyu late game or also an Agility Iron Leaves. I went with Overgrow as the ability because if something knocks me down in my Focus Sash, Flower Trick becomes incredibly strong. And I decided on Jolly Max Speed just in case he decides to bring something like Choice Scarf Pelipper to outspeed a Meowscarada trying to outspeed Roaring Moon by 1 point. Next up I chose Espathra to take advantage of those toxic spikes. With a timid nature and 24 speed EVs, at +2 it's faster than Roaring Moon at +1 with a Dragon Dance or Booster Energy. The rest of the EVs were put into HP and defense to better take on something like Roaring Moon, Iron Leaves, or even Mimikyu in the late game, as well as tanking hits from Dondozo. I decided on a Lumina Crash set over Stored Power just because it's a little bit easier to deal with his team. And with Lumina Crash's guaranteed -2 special defense drop, it can make tanking hits from Espathra really difficult, even if you naturally resist. For example, if Iron Leaves gets hit by Lumina Crash and Toxic Spike are up, I knock it out with my next move, Hex, which also allows me to knock out Mimikyu after Lumina Crash too. I went with Terra Blast and Terrasilize Fighting to resist Roaring Moon's Crunch and also 2-hit KO it, as well as Magnezone. And Protect not only allows me to get my speed boost, but also wear down my opponent with Toxic Spikes even more. Lumina Crash also allows me to beat down Dondozo way easier than Stored Power would, and lets the rest of my special attackers do the exact same thing. Next up, I wanted a defensive backbone that could easily take hits from Mimikyu and even Roaring Moon, so I opted for Iron Treads. A physically defensive Iron Treads with an impish nature can take on +2 Mimikyu with ease, as well as tank a hit from Roaring Moon. And because there's no item clause in this draft, I went with leftovers on both this and Espathra. Earthquake is my main form of stab, how I'm going to be doing damage to Pokemon like Arcanine, Mimikyu, and Roaring Moon. I have Knockoff to get rid of potential heavy duty boots just like Meowscarada, and getting rid of Rocky Helmets as well, or leftovers to let Poison rack up even further. Instead of Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin, I decided on Volt Switch plus Protect. Protect lets me rack up poison damage even more, putting things in range of my next Pokemon's attack or even my Espathra. And Volt Switch allows me to get in Pokemon like Espathra and my Dragalge and Sylveon, as you guys will see in a bit. It also hits my opponent's potential Pelipper for 4 times effective damage, which is why I gave Iron Treads 16 speed EVs to outspeed max speed Timid Pelipper. And of course Iron Treads blocks Magnezone as well. I went with defensive Sylveon next to take on Pokemon like Slitherwing, Roaring Moon, and Iron Leaves in a pinch. Pixelate boosted Hyper Voices hit my opponent's team incredibly hard. Wish support allows me to keep Pokemon like Espathra and Iron Treads healthy. I have Protect to rack up poison damage and also combine well with Wish. And Quick Attack is my final move to be able to knock out Roaring Moon after a little bit of damage. It can also help me do some damage to Iron Leaves if it decides to Terrasilize into a fighting type, since they only have the option to Terrasilize into a Psychic or fighting type. Adaptability to Dragalge gives me a Fire Resist, a Fighting Resist, a Bug Resist, a Water Resist, a bunch of stuff from my team. With its HP and defense, it can tank 2 Adamant Flare Blitzes from Arcanine, can switch in pretty easily on Dondozo, and with 164 EVs and special attack and a modest nature, it can 2-hit KO Dondozo with Sludge Bomb as well, if it's not special defensive. Dragon and Poison are incredible versus my opponent's draft, only Magnezone resists both. I have Protect to not only rack up poison damage, but also get Black Sludge recovery, and I also gave it Toxic Spikes as well, because if my opponent does end up bringing Komala and sacks it to deal with Meowscarada's Toxic Spikes, I can just rinse repeat and set them up again with Dragalge, 12 EVs in speed, or just in case my opponent brings Mudsdale and tries to outspeed a no-speed Dragalge. Lastly, I wanted a backup check to Iron Leaves as well as Mimikyu, so I decided on Mold Breaker Hawlucha with a Choice Scarf. With a Choice Scarf, it's faster than Booster Energy Iron Leaves, and with Mold Breaker, it ignores Disguise from Mimikyu, doing a ton with Brave Bird. Close Combat, Brave Bird, and U-Turn hit the entire team for either neutral or super effective damage. I have Defog as my last move, just in case my opponent ends up bringing Stealth Rock. Because even though I might be defogging away my own Toxic Spikes, it's not hard for me to get them back up again with 2 Pokemon. 176 Speed EVs allowed me to outspeed Iron Leaves, as well as just a little bit further. And then I have the rest in attack and an 80 defense, which allows me to take on +2 Mimikyu Shadow Sneak even better. And also Slit the Wings attacks. And after this battle, make sure you check out my opponent as well. They have less than 100 subs and they make some pretty good content. Shout out to Dylan with the help with the building, as well as Tome, Mephisto, and Envy for testing with me. I've held you up long enough, so let's jump right into the battle. So the first battle against Dell for the BBR First Draft League. Gonna be a good time. I'm very, very excited. And if you guys are hyped about my return to draft, obviously we had the whole team breakdown, but a lot of people skip, which is completely fine. Let me know by leaving a like, subscribe, and also sub to Dell. He has less than 100 subs, and I feel like we could change that. So if you enjoy this battle, let me know. So I'm gonna just write down everything he has so I know I can see it in game, but this is just so I can remember everything. Magnezone. I wonder if that's specs. We have Mimikyu. If you hear my dog's toy, I can't do anything about that. They're having fun, and I'm not going to stop them. Roaring Moon. Dozo, and Iron Leaves. All right. I'm just going to lead off with Meowscarada on Focus Sash. I want to get up Toxic Spikes as quickly as possible. If everything on that team has boots, that means they don't have leftovers recovery, which helps me out quite a bit. And me being Focus Sash is going to go a long way, I think, as well. So, they got some good Pokemon, man. But Toxic Spike really is going to go a long way. All right, let's start it off, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to start this off. And so hyped for the 60-minute timer. You can just go to the competitions and set it yourself. It's 30-minute my time, then 60-minute full time. But I think that's completely enough time to play the game. So... let's get it, man. Let's get it. I can't wait to start in the ground in this game. Unless they fix that in the patch. Oh. Not in the ground. Hold up. Whoa. And you look so sick standing up. Nothing to think about. We're going to click the Toxic Spike right here. God, this screen, this background we're in is so light. I almost misclicked my first move of the game. Incredible. Incredible. I'm assuming they're going to go for U-turn or first impression. They look so cool. I like this a lot. But yeah, nothing to think about. Toxic Spike is the best thing. Unless they're Choice Scarf, I get off Toxic Spike immediately. They hard switch. They hard switch into Magnabat, which is definitely Magnezone. Okay, so I'm going to knock this thing off as well, just because I don't care about my Sash being broken in this. They don't have hazards on their team. But one layer of T-Spike is up. I could go for 2, but I don't think I need it. So I'm going to go for knockoff here. They might go for Spec Steel Beam, anticipating me to go Iron Treads, or they might double, anticipating me to go Iron Treads. Either way, because Iron Treads is very, very free. Either way, this knockoff looks hella free. I think that they switched out, fearing me to be like Scarf Play Rough or have Protect on, and they might be choiced. They may end up being Choice Band. But we're going to go for knockoff here. Does so much damage. 40%, we get rid of their Choice Scarf, which is awesome. 40%. So they're at 60%. Volt Switch, no item. Volt Switch, no item. Perfect. Couldn't really tell the damage from that. I'm surprised I went for Volt Switch considering I have, the Iron Treads, but hey, I'll take it. Anyway, young Roaring Moon comes out, gets poisoned immediately. Let's see if we see Booster Energy. I have to pay so much attention here. I do see Booster Energy immediately on this thing. So, it is Booster Energy, Roaring Moon. It's poisoned. Booster Energy. Now, a few things. It has an attack raise, so obviously my Sylveon is in trouble here. But I do have the Quick Attack, which is very important, I think, as well. Roaring Moon, Booster Energy. Quick Attack does about 55 to 60 something percent. I'm surprised because I could have U-turn as well. I don't see if it was an attack raise or speed raise. Can I look at that real quick? Check target is plus. Come on, game. That's it? Check status. Doesn't tell me what the photosynthesis. What a loser game. Come on, bro. Anyway, we're going to go right out to Astro Rabbit. If they Iron Head immediately, I will be able to take one. Just one. Just one Iron Head. Yeah, plus one Iron Head does not knock me out. It does 85 to 100%. They go for Earthquake first. That did absolutely nothing. I wish I had paid attention to the boost, but it's a little bit hard, man. It's definitely a bit hard. Now, I have Iron Treads to hit, and I also have the Scarf Halucha at the end of the day as well. so I'm not in the worst shape in the world. We're gonna go for Protect here, in case they do have that EQ. Dude is at like 80%. They might switch, I guess. No, they're definitely not gonna switch. They could have. Well, they would have to be EQ, Acro, Ironhead. Is that their set? Potentially. That did nothing to me though. That literally did nothing. So I'm gonna say that's not +1. That's speed boost. So that's speed boost for sure. Good, because I was not. I said I had to pay attention, and then I swear it just went like that. I need Pokemon Showdown so I could read, and I could barely read too. So anyway, we Protect here. See what they end up going for. I'm assuming it's an Ironhead. They do end up going for Ironhead. Now, Ironhead at the speed boost will not actually be able to knock me out, which is pretty important. With speed boost, Ironhead does not knock me out ever. I am at 209 something. I'm going for quick attack regardless, right? But 296 HP. Ironhead can only do 266 at max. So I'm going to quick attack. And again, if they got the attack raise, then that means Ironhead does knock me out. So that's just it. But basically, I got the damage on this. They do switch. Nice. No booster. EQ, Ironhead. Ironhead EQ. 65%-ish, I want to say. So we get the quick attack chip off there. But more importantly, we get the damage off on Roaring Moon for a late game. What's it called? I'm going to Protect. There's literally no reason not to. But for a late game knockout from my Espathra. Because that damage is very important. Very, very important. If they're Earthquake and they're Ironhead and they're most likely Acrobatics, I would say, for my Terra, they might double again. But Sylveon is pretty nice because, I mean, it always lived every hit. If I lost Sylveon, Slitherwing could have been a problem, but I do have Scarf Halucha. So even if it Flame Charges, I'll be faster, and I can knock that boy out with a Brave Bird. So, yeah, we're going to play the defensive route here. This is why I brought this team. Volt Switch, Flash. I'm assuming they have Analytic, right? They should have Analytic, right? They definitely should have Analytic. But the healthier we are on Sylveon, the easier it is to take on Pokemon like Mimikyu. And I got a fully defensive Iron Treads in the back. Just absolutely waiting. Just waiting to wreak havoc. Now, if they go for Body Press predicting me, they're really going to be sad when they see the damage. Because my homie Iron Treads straight up eats. I was worried about this thing being, what's it called? Assault Vest or something. But I'm good. I'm very happy. So they go out to Craft. Craft is the back into the Roaring Moon, which I think is fine because Iron Treads does so much to Roaring Moon. It doesn't have a boost now either. So it doesn't have the boost now either. Iron Treads does 44 to 52% to them, so it actually knocks them out with poison damage. So we're gonna go right for the Earthquake here. Earthquake from them is not gonna knock me out. It can only do 38 to 45%. Oh, that's a booster. Let me get rid of the booster energy. Earthquake, yeah, 38 to 45%. So I pretty much eat this for breakfast. And I don't have to worry about what they bring out. Oh, the dude's at 50% too. God, man, so much freaking writing. Like, it's homework. It's literally like homework, bro. It's a battle. This is insane. But I'm so glad we got that homie. Because basically, once I get it to half, it's in Espathra range. Espathra can late game sweep very, very, very easily. I would actually love... Oh, this is going to do nothing. Yum. Chewed. Let me go ahead and hit him back with my own. That's max defense, max HP, baby. That is the max defense, max HP. But Meowscarada kills Roaring Moon with poison. Meow, poison, moon. That's a damn. It's like I'm writing code. Go ahead and decipher that. It's like an MV title, but like the old school one, not the obviously new ones right there. So we get rid of Roaring Moon. Obviously a very scary Pokemon in the end of the game, potentially. Iron Leaves can come out for sure. I want to pay attention for Iron Leaves. I got to pay attention to Iron Leaves. Kirby is the Slitherwing. So Slitherwing, let's see if it's Boots. It is not Boots. Perfect. It is Poison. They're not going to like this play. They're not going to like this Protect right here. I play when your team does not have a grounded Poison type, I play to my odds. Press Protect is just good for recovery. Like Ivory, all my mons are named after Lestros, by the way. Big shout out to my boy A-Drive. Ivory, this is looking good. All right, but yeah, Braver looks hella good. Magnezone is at about 50-ish%. I'm going to say 58%. Maybe 57. Let me round down a little bit. But we're good. Even if they bulk up, I should be able to eat a hit on Sylveon. And they might have doubled there too. They might end up U-turning as well, which isn't that big of a deal. They end up going right for the CC. I have max defense on Sylveon. Now, they could very well be choice banned. They could easily be choice banned. My Lumina Crash on this thing, I just want to see what Espathra does to you. Espathra, because I'm assuming Espathra is not going to have to come out until the Dondozo matchup. Slitherwing, choice ban. Espathra does 54 to 66%. Insane how little that does. I almost misclicked that boy. All right, we're going to bring out Sylveon here. Sylveon's going to take a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's going to take a lot from this CC. 39 to 46%. That's if it's adamant choice ban, of course. Which we'll be able to find out after these messages, after this damn communicating. I wonder if that's, like, his narration versus my narration, or that's just the server. Because I feel like I was practicing with my boy Chimp. By practicing, I mean getting stock footage, excuse me. The complete opposite of practicing. I was getting footage with my boy Chimp. And it was communicating even though we were in call. Okay, so that's not choice. That is not choice. So I get a free Hyper Voice right now. I get an absolutely free Hyper Voice right now. And of course, the poison damage is nice too. I'm not going to bother protecting here because they shouldn't be able to kill me in one hit. And the ability to just get damage on Magnezone and go for a late game Brave Bird sweep with Hawlucha, I think is super worth it. So we're just going to go right for the Hyper Voice there. I can see Magnezone coming back in. And the scary thing about Magnezone, every time it comes in, it's actually worse for my opponent here. Yeah, it's worse for my opponent. I would love to double into Espathra right now, but if they click U-turn that turn, oof, terrible. So yeah, just Magnezone being weakened, it becomes less and less of a Sylveon answer. Like Quick Attack versus Hyper Voice is like this. It's a world of difference. That dies to Terra, which is nice. That dies to Terra, and what I can do here is time to start a Espathra. So I'm gonna go Ivory, my Iron Treads. I'm going to go Ivory, my Iron Treads. And I'm going to kind of just start, like I said, Espathra. Now, I have Sylveon still healthy enough. I have Hawlucha, as long as they don't get, like, super boost. Because it could be red card on Mimikyu, which is something I'm thinking they might be. But as long as they don't get super boost, I'm good. Also, if they double out into their Iron right now, which they didn't because I'm definitely slower than that. They were Choice Scarf. If they double out right here, I'm good. So, I'm trying to think, do I need to double? Do I need to do this? Or... yeah, they go right for Steel Beam, so that's smart. This is probably analytic boosted. Yeah, that does so much damage. That did so much damage. So Magnezone self-death. Magnezone kills itself. To Steel Beam. Yo, if I had protected there, they actually died. Because Steel Beam still goes through, if I'm not mistaken. You still take recoil, so that's actually kind of funny. So potentially a misplay on my part. We'll see, though. We'll see. We shall see. Now, depending on the Iron Leaves moveset, depending on its booster energy or not, because it could very well be Agility, which would be kind of scary. MV used that versus me when we were testing stuff. Very, very scary. It could definitely be Agility, so I gotta be careful. But if it's Agility, it's scary if it's Terra Psychic. So Flash is the Iron. We do get the Poison off on it, which is really nice. Booster energy? Booster energy? What speed? What's that? Speed. Okay, booster energy speed. Okay, so that's fine. That means, which means that Hawlucha is most likely faster. So I'm going to Volt Switch here. Basically, if they SD, I mean, they can get a free kill. But if they SD, I'm in an okay situation. If they, maybe I should Earthquake, because if they're speed plus plus agility, it could be scary. But they end up terastallizing now, which is smart. So they Terra into a fighting type. Fight. I can Brave Bird after, though. I can straight up Brave Bird after. If they Swords Dance, it's fine, too, because I get the Volt Switch plus the poison damage off on them. Let's see what they do. They do SD. Okay, speed, SD. So they're pure fighting, which means they're not 4 times weak to anything. We get some good damage there. Let me just check something. Make sure Hawlucha knocks you out. Iron Leaves. Oh, shoot. Brave Bird is a freaking Oko. I am, unfortunately for you, way faster. So, the SD there. The SD. I have my Mold Breaker, which means I also bust through Mimikyu, which is why I have it. And we got the 2 turns of Poison. So, assuming my thing is EV'd correctly, which it should be. I can knock him out right here with the Scarf Berry Bird. That should be how Lucha kills Iron Leaves right now. Let's see. Yep. KOs Iron Leaves with BB. Alright, cool. So that's their Terra Captain gone. They're Terra type, so they can't Terra. I mean, you can't Terra more than once anyway. But just, yeah. Fun. That should be good. Okay, so there goes Dozo. Dozo is a problem. I mean, I just go hard into Meowscarada. If they set up, I just hit them with a Flower Trick, right? Meowscarada kind of has lived off its usefulness. It's not really important anymore, in my opinion. There still is a way I can lose this as well to Mimikyu being a giant problem. Had they brought T-Spike everything, it still would have been, I think, fine. I mean, heavy duty boots everything, I still think it would have been fine because I have double knockoff. So they go for Yawn there. They go for Yawn. It might be a Yawn plus Protect set. I'm going to bring out my... We're going to bring out my Ivory over here. Because I can just bring it in later and power. Basically, Flower Trick would be really strong just because of the fact that it can crit through Curse Boost, right? And they can't tear. They would tear it, but they couldn't tear even if they wanted to because they have a Terra Captain. So, look at... Get this thing's mouth out of my face, bro. You know what? I feel like Dozo... I know it's not a... Dude! I just hear... It's like it heard me like, shut the hell up. I will swallow you like VGC. I feel like with this Pokemon in particular, they kind of made it like Super Wailord, right? It's obviously not Wailord, but it feels like Super Wailord. So we're going to go out into Ivory right here. They might Protect. They have Chilling Water, which is no big deal. So Dozo kills me. Dozo smashes my Iron Treads. I have Dragalge nice and safe, so I want to keep you alive. Right, I'm going to go with my Espathra right here and reveal my Lumina Crash tech. Lumina Crash time. Because it beats Unaware, basically, so I can go for things like they might Yawn. They might not Yawn, actually, because I could sub. I'm surprised that they brought that. So we're going to Lumina Crash. They may go hard Mimikyu, expecting me to try and sub or set up, and they could have that red card, like I said. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, they might go hard with Mimikyu. Yep, there's Mimikyu. So a lot of people in Draft League like to use Mimikyu with red card to force it out. The crazy thing is that if they're not red card, they actually straight up die to Hex after. So, because I still get the Spadef drop. This is actually really nice because this thing setting up could have been bad. Let's see if it's red card. It's not red card. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, there's no reason not to Terra, right? Because I knock you out. Technically, Mimikyu is bulky enough to be able to eat a hit. 71 to 85%. I'm going to Protect here. It's pretty free. Just to guarantee KO them with Espathra. And then I can Terra on... Like, if they Swords Dance, I'm fine because I can Terra on the Shadow Sneak and easily eat that up. And I just want the poison damage just to ensure that Hex, which is doubled in power, knocks them out. That's really what I want right there. So, smashes Iron Treads. So there's the Protect. There's a Thunder Wave coming out. Ooh. I wonder if this thing is specially defensive. It could be. It freaking could be. I mean, even if it is, I'm going to be so boosted that I don't care. So I'm just going to... Terrasilize just so like... I'll Terrasilize next turn. I don't have to. I feel like I don't have to. If they're not special defensive, they die to this. Also, even if they are special defensive, or just max HP, this does 57 to 68%, which is a lot. So Hex is just a strong move to click regardless. Let's see. They die. All right, Espathra picks up. Espathra kills Mimikyu. I feel like I had a really good matchup here. I think the only scary thing that they could have brought was agility Iron Leaves, and even then I had so much pivot, protect, plus damage that I think I was in a good spot, personally. That's just what I think anyway. But I'm assuming they're gonna bring out. I mean, they can't really do anything with Slitherwing, right? It's not gonna beat me. I'm almost max defense and I'm almost max HP. I'm 248 HP, 236 defense. So I mean, they bring out Slitherwing. Technically it will do a lot of damage to me. Doesn't matter if they sub or not. We're just gonna protect and do exactly what Espathra does. This is why you gotta, like I said, this is why you gotta draft the grounded poison type. This is why. His T-Spike are gonna go crazy. There's the first impression. And we might as well just Terra here. I'm gonna Terra just in case because I'll tank the close combat no matter what because they're not banded. But more importantly, it makes U-turn not like kill me. And I'll tank CC no matter what. Lumina Crash actually doesn't kill, but Lumina Crash does so much to Dondozo. Like they're gonna do if they're not special defensive, does 25% to Dondozo. I'm excited to see what they're like. Oh, to get in call with them after rather, because I want to talk about a few of their sets. Chilling Water is really cool. Like no, I mean no pun intended, man. I'm not envy. Nice little terrestrialization. Not that I could do anything with it really, but we're just gonna Lumina Crash there. It's not gonna kill, and then Poison's gonna kill that. They Zen Headbutt me, predicting me to Terra into a fighting type. Beautiful play on my opponent's part. Lovely play on my opponent's part. That was really nice, but unfortunately, Mimi T-Spikes, Meowscarada T-Spikes, Meow, Poison, the Slither. And there's zero way I lose to Dozo. Even if it was cursed, there was zero way. Because what I would... First off, I have Flower Trick that always crit. But also, Lumina Crash gets the Spit F drops. So my Dragalge in the back, as well as my my Dragalge, as well as my Sylveon will both beat it 1v1 too. So, I'm going to go for Lumina Crash here. Should do about 25%. And they're special defensive. That's completely fine. But they keep that special defense drop, so that's fine. They end up going for Chilling Water, which isn't going to do anything to me. I guess that was a means of, like, if I did try to go for the Stored Power route, because Unaware does beat Stored Power, but Stored Power can beat Unaware if it gets enough boost in time. But that's why they opted for no Wave. Well, Wave Crash, I wouldn't bring Wave Crash, because why would you want to take more damage when you're trying to beat a Pokemon like Espathra 1v1? But, yeah, we're just going to go for another one of those, and it looks like, oh my god, Mimikyu is going to kill this thing with Poison too! Meowscarada, excuse me. Meow kills. I mean, there are Espathra assists, right? There's 3 Espathra assists. Kills Dozo with Poison. Jeez, T-Spike was nasty. Oh my god. Alright, well, we're going to leave it at that. We end up winning. Nice. I think that's... I don't know how many Pokemon I have left. I have no idea how many Pokemon I have left. This isn't Showdown. I can't see how many Pokemon I have left. Oh, we went 5-0. Our first battle. Return to draft. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm going to see if I can get Dell in a call so we can, you know, kind of discuss. I used to do these in draft leagues. I think I was the first person who started it, where we'll do like a little interview at the end, kind of talk about why you brought this team, what was the decision making in bringing this, and this. So, hope y'all enjoyed. If I don't end up doing that, leave a like, subscribe. If I do end up doing that, I'll see you guys in a sec. So, I'm here with Dell. Want to say hi to people?
Yo, what's poppin'?
So I have this team right here. What was your thought process really just going into this draft? I love the Zen Headbutt play, by the way. Expecting my Terra. That was clean.
I appreciate it. So basically the concept was Espathra kind of ran my show, and I didn't have a grounded poison, so I knew that I needed to kind of play fast. And the whole goal was to just break for leaves as soon as possible and then try to win a 50-50 on the Espathra if it came in against it. Yeah, I was like, man, if I'm not Terra fighting and he's not Terra fighting yet, it's going to be a really weird little 50-50 interaction there. So, yeah, it was just to go kind of play as quick as possible with the team. And I think I just, you outpositioned me, my friend. You outpositioned me.
Well, I mean, protect helps, right? Like,
yeah,
it was less like that. It was funny because I'm pretty sure if I had protected on the Steel Beam from zone, it died still.
Yeah, it would have.
But I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it because I wanted to. So I mean, you have my Pokepace, but my Iron Tread says Volt Switch. I don't have Stealth Rock or Rapid Spin. I didn't care. Yeah. Right. So I had Volt Switch because it's faster than Max Speed Pelipper, and basically I just wanted momentum into my, my Espathra because the second Espathra comes in, you see my set Hex, Lumina Crash, Terra Blast. It kind of just smashes. Like if I Lumina Crash your guy, I can just stay in regular form and just hex it and kill it, right?
Yeah,
Obviously,
100%.
if you Terra with your Iron Leaves, it'll 2 KO still, but you can't kill me as long as
Yep.
I haven't Terra. So
No,
and like,
yeah,
you're
you
not boosted.
had that for sure. I went into it. I ran like 4 or 5 different mocks. Be straight up. I only ever like Palafin came to every game, and I never faced a Halucha. And Scarf Lucha completely looped me. You brought it in. I was like, oh, it's gonna be on Verdant, and then I saw Mold Breaker. I was like, oh no, like
Oh no.
I don't have a switch. I was like, I could go Dozo, I guess, but then Leaves is useless. Like I need the speed booster. So
Yeah, it's already weak to
yeah,
Espathra at that point, and it's weak to
yeah,
Sylveon. I get you. I get
yeah.
you.
No, it was really cool. Like I was T Spike's Hex was shiesty prep. I was really happy that like with the Magnezone set specifically, like I knew I'd be walled by the treads, but I figured if I steel beamed, at least I wouldn't get set up on by like an Iron Defense body press set, which also was super scary for me. Outside of like Sacred Sword Leaves, I knew I was gonna have a problem with that. And it came against me in mock, and I was like, oh, I have to have at least something for it. So I figured if I die, I could at least go into something else to sit on it like Dozo.
Yeah.
But,
I actually fought Specs Magnezone with Steel Beam, and it did 94% to my Iron Treads on switching. So that was pretty nasty.
Analytic boosted, man. That thing goes hard.
Yeah, so like, I mean, like, so I played some mocks too. The one Iron Leaves that put me down was Agility. And that was only because Envy had burnt and paralyzed all my Pokemon 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So pretty good guy to test versus. I was like, damn, man. No. He's like, this could happen in the real game. I was like, yeah, it could. You're right. Let's just keep playing.
Man.
The thing is, he had also brought boots on Pokemon, but all I did was knock off his boots with my double knockoffers, and T-Spike ended up going. And that's why I actually, you see my Dragalge and my Masquerade have T-Spike. Originally, I thought of, and I don't really care if we play again. Who cares? Like I'm gonna change my team anyway. I don't care about revealing anything. I'm not. Like it doesn't matter. I originally had Substitute on Dragalge because unless you ran Earthquake, which I didn't think you'd run on your Dozo, just because Body Press is better for Masquerade and also still 100%. Hits Iron. Yeah, so unless you run that, you couldn't break the sub. And then if you're Fizz Def, Dragon Pulse and Sludge Bomb 2 KO with Poison. If you're Spadef, between Black Sludge plus Protect. And T-Spike, I could beat you, and if you rested, then like I was never worried about like even a Curse Doza because I had Lumina Crash, obviously.
Yeah,
and that would mean,
I was super worried about because we were mocking through everything, right? Like if anybody's watching this and you want to get better at draft, just mock a bunch, like just play as much as you can because it helps so much. Because at the end of the day, stuff like this game will still happen where it's like I ran a bunch and Joey still came up with stuff that I didn't face at all. So you'll never be over prepared. But T-Spikes ran me, and I was like, well, I need other items outside of boots, so we kind of have to do the aggressive thing, and then, it's all there. Yeah, it's great prep on your part. It's great prep.
Oh, thank you. I worked with my boy Dylan, so big shout out to him. And, so, like, I mean, obviously I did tests with Tone, Mephisto, and Envy as well. Like, this is my first draft league game in 3 years, right? So I obviously wanted to do well as well, so like the testing was really nice.
I wanted to give you a show at least keep it close to the end, but
I mean, you let my text show off, which is cool. At least.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
but I mean, dude,
Meowscarada for the people.
Meowscarada stole the show. I was so pissed off. I was like, why is everything dying to 1% poison?
Oh man, yeah. T-Spike kills on everything.
Yeah, it was actually wild. So this Don Dozo team was just so, or set was so you could just set up with Iron Leaves, right? That was
essentially, yeah. It was either to like be able to scary face safely. Endure was to chip away at like a Palafin that could have came. If you were like Grass Knot, I wanted to be able to force more chip onto it. If you did decide to go like a special Fin, if it came, Yawn was to just pressure, keep things having to move in and out until I could get into a position with Leaves. And then Chilling Water was, if I Chilling Water into like Treads or something like that, Leaves is way safer to come in after the fact because Knockoff's not going to do anything to me when Booster's consumed. -1, I'm not taking a whole lot. Even if you Ice Spinner the turn after that, I still live and I'm okay. But it was, just for naught at the end of the day. It was Pelipper to begin with, and I do feel a little bit bad about sniping you with Pelipper and Dreadnought.
No, dude, that was my fault. But I'll be completely honest. I got some comments about it. too.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, yo, if you want a Pelipper, why would you wait till round 9? And let me tell you something, because he had a Dozo. He has a Dozo on his team. Like, everybody had good water types. I did not expect the Pelipper to go. But I mean, it was for Great Tusk, obviously, for the same reason I wanted it. Literally the same
exactly.
reason
I didn't have certain things. I was like, I need an earthquake resist.
Yeah,
like my team gets
exactly.
thrown by earthquake.
Yeah, I wanted that's why I also like. And people were like, well, why didn't you get it before Ditto? I feel like Ditto would have been sniped way before Pelipper.
So it's funny, I actually had Ditto if you didn't take it.
Yeah, exactly. So I lost either way. I lost either way.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I was going to
sure.
get sniped regardless. No, there was a few people that wanted it. So I was like, yeah, let me get this because there's so many giant threats in draft. But
it's hard to prep setup into a Ditto team too. Like I was really scared because like it forced me to bring Booster over Life Orb.
Yeah.
And like Booster over like a defensive
so you could
barrier or something like
best
that.
speed tie, like at worst, excuse me.
At worst speed tie, yeah. That was the whole. I was like, well, I'd rather speed tie than guarantee lose. So, and if I was agility and you brought Ditto, I'd be cooked. Like, then everything's.
That's what I think too. Like, it helps prep a ton. That's also why like I wasn't as worried about certain Pokemon. I was like, man, if I had Ditto, like there's no way he'd resist this.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it'd be red card on Mimikyu, but I like the Thunder Wave max HP set since it guarantee lives 2 hits.
Yeah.
But the
and
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was gonna say if you Terra fought like we're Terra fighting or anything like that, like I face subsets too. I was really worried about subs, so I was like, if he Terra fights, I'm just gonna play rough into him if he's like a sub like calm mindset.
That's
so
why
I'm not just insta losing.
That's why in the video I said there's no way he yawns here because if I sub, he's probably gonna go out to Mimikyu and it might be red card. So like I was like, I'm just gonna Lumina Crash anyway, right?
Yeah.
Just because I'd be good regardless.
Yeah. Fun fact: Yon does not go through sub. You learn that the hard way eventually.
Oh wait, you in mock that happened?
No, I knew beforehand, but like I know people out there think that yawn is a sound move that goes through it.
It
doesn't.
Should be.
Yeah, it should be. Absolutely,
it's definitely
should
a
be.
sound.
Should also give you a throat spray boost. Game Freak, please get
I
on
agree,
that.
I agree with both of those, but then obviously it has to be a sound move for them to do that. But I agree with both of those. Just buff yawn.
Yeah, buff yawn.
Buff yawn. The Clear Amulet. Can you explain that? I don't even remember what Pokemon on my team.
Intimidate, Paldean, Tauros.
Yes. Okay. Completely forgot. Completely forgot my draft. I'm gonna be completely honest.
No, I was like, man, Tauros. In my head, that's one of those mons where it's like, man, this thing looks really good into me. Like, if you were like a Trailblaze set with like Wild Charge or something like that, I was like, dang, this could go pretty crazy into me. And I really wanted, like, if you were like a bulk up set, I wanted that moment of, oh, I'm gonna bring this in.
Yeah. I Trailblaze as I go Tauros. I don't get the Intimidate. Then you Zen Headbutt to KO me. Yeah, I like
basically.
it. I like it.
Yeah, that was the thought with it. I was like, this could be a really cool like moment with it. It ended up working out because Lumina Crash didn't drop
I didn't
drop my stuff at the end.
Yeah.
I hope I at least got what the heck just happened.
Dude, you know what the second part was? We were playing on such a light field that I had trouble like figuring because I'm blind as hell. And I wear contacts, but I had trouble. And on top of that, I can't pay attention to save my life. Like I had my face glued to the screen. I was like, "What boost?" When Salamence came out, running Moon Salamence, I was like, "Dude, what boost did it have?" And then when you look, when you look in the game, it doesn't tell you.
It does. No, I hate that. I wish there was an indicator. Like even if it's just like it shows like the booster energy next to the stat or something like that. It
like
makes
obviously
it so much
a speed
easier.
boost stat and all this stuff, it tells you, but like damn. And I was like, this thing is so light, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I have no idea what boost it got. So I actually didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. Because I actually wrote down everything too, because I was I'm one to forget very
dude,
much.
I was going through calcs mid game, like typing stuff out. I'm like, okay, this Sylveon's got at least this much. Quick attack Sylveon. I need to talk on that. That is such fun prep. And I don't know if anybody, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch Nexus's video. But like, I know Nexus brought Disarming Voice on freaking Skeledirge for the same kind of thing with High Dragon. And the moment you did it, I'm like, oh, they've been talking. Something's been going on here. Like there's collusion. I know they're chatting up a storm trying to get through these dark dragon types, and that was cool prep. I was very caught back from it.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm very glad you liked it. It actually wouldn't have killed you. It just would have put you in range of poison because you have HP.
Yeah, were you like you weren't max attack. You were probably like 30%?
Oh no, dude, I had 0. I was relaxed nature, max defense. I just had enough. It does 55 to 65 if you have no HP. Yeah. But you obviously had HP, so it'd probably do closer to 40. But I also, based on Earthquake, because I didn't see the booster energy, but after you Earthquake me, I was like, okay, he didn't get the attack raise. Based on Earthquake, you did get the attack raise.
I did get the attack raise.
What the hell? Why did we do so little?
The protect that you did actually took you out of Iron Head
Yeah,
range.
yeah. Okay, that's
if
all
you
I
were
knew.
max.
That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Like that's all I
was
knew.
I was like, oh man, like this is great. Iron Head will kill from here. Like I can fire one off, and you hadn't revealed protect yet. If I had known, maybe you DD, maybe I do something a little different. Yeah, but like you just took yourself out of it. I think you were at like 75 or 76%, and my max roll was like a 73, and I was like, I can't,
No, that makes sense. I mean, Magnezone was a good switch anyway. Either way, like even if you had Dragon Dance there, I would still be clicking quick attack.
Yeah, you'd be double quick attack. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I'd have protect on my homie after, so you would ideally die. But yeah, no, that was cool. I really like the Thunder Wave on Mimikyu though. Like obviously, if I wasn't what's it called, Hex, then I would have been.
It would have been nice at least. I could have given myself a chance with like a couple full pairs at the end of it maybe. But yeah, what can you do?
It was still a fun game.
I had a blast. I may have got my butt kicked, but that was a fun 5-0 loss for what it is.
I appreciate it. Thank you for being my first draft league game back. Guys, please subscribe to them. They are less than 100 subs. They got like 45 subs. Let's get them to 100 plus. Got a whole season. If you want to support him for the entire season, or even just want to watch his games, go ahead and check them out. Thank you for the game, bro.
No, I really appreciate it, Joey. Thanks for coming back to draft, man.
No,
it means a lot to all of us.
I mean, the timer was the only reason. Literally, draft is one of my favorite formats. The timer is literally the only reason I didn't do it, and it was not like the 10-minute chess timer. I could do it, but to go back and forth and have the IP we're using drop and not connect, I'm like, nah, forget this.
Like the other two leagues that like I'm in one right now, and then the other one like BBR season 1. It was so hard to go through. Like you can't calc. Like everything has to be pre-calced before the game, and if you didn't prep for a certain set, your head calc and everything.
Yeah,
so
Like, no, I mean, I remember playing it too in Sword and Shield, and I did my first couple, like 10 turns, 2 seconds. I calced for once, and I was down 3 minutes of my timer. I was like, what's going on? And I was insane, but I got mad. I was like, during this game, I was like, I'm running a calc, there's 30 seconds left. I was like, what's the point of giving me a 30-minute timer if I can't?
Still get a 1 minute, turn.
But,
so dumb.
Anything else you want to say to the viewers before we go?
No, just make sure you're, hang out, stick around with draft content. It's only going to get better. You got a lot of up and comers. You got a lot of people that have been here a long time that really, deserve your support. I'm brand new, so don't feel the need to help me out too much, but definitely guys like D-Ray, people like that have really been holding down the community. They're people you need to go out and support because they're busting their ass for this kind of stuff, man. They're here for you. So
I mean, I'll definitely be watching every single game on my stream. Like we're watching every game live for sure. I'm doing a watch together. But you heard him. Go and check out everybody. Everybody's link will be down below, but his link will be higher than everybody else's. So go and check out Dell. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.